If you're watching this from home, please come join us live. We would love to have you. We meet every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. It's a great opportunity for you to come and meet the team, other members of the community, bring up any questions you might have of using any of the Carvel tools or have any feature requests, or just want to kind of sit, listen in. We would love to have you. For those that have anything they want to discuss with the team, please add that down below in the discussion topics section of the agenda, and we will get to it towards the end of the meeting. If you aren't able to join us for these meetings, you can find us on Slack and Twitter. We're in the Carvel channel and the Kubernetes Slack workspace, and we're on Twitter at Carvel_dev. At any point you're interacting with us or other members of the community, please read and abide by our code of conduct, which is tagged here, and it goes towards our repo, which is where you'll find it. If you're using the Carvel tools, we want to know how you are using them. So we've created this pinned issue, and we would love for you to provide all the details we ask of you in a comment and add your logo, and we can put it on our adopters file, but that is totally optional for you. What we're mostly interested in is the use cases that people have for using our tools. It helps us to develop better products and features and whatnot when we know how folks are using it, as well as it helps the community understand other ways that they could be using the tools as well. All attendees, please add your name and any organization that you represent in the attendees list here. Moving on to announcements. So we've got an exciting opportunity here for you to come and join the Carvel team. We're looking for a product line manager. The job requisite is here listed in the agenda. You can also find it on the careers page for VMware. Aaron or anyone that knows more about this that wants to talk about this particular open role?
Yeah, I can speak to it a little bit. This is a fairly high level position, so it'd be working with the project and really understanding a bit better, like where in the marketplace, the ecosystem that we fit in, what are the opportunities that we want to pursue. And I mean, generally you get to work with a great team of motivated engineers. So yeah, come check it out and join us, and it'll be fun.
Thanks, Aaron. And yeah, I might be a little biased, but I love this team. They're rock stars. They're a lot of fun to work with. So I highly encourage you to look into that and find us on Slack if you have any questions for that particular role. Now, moving on to content. This week, we have a few blog posts coming out that are regarding the new KCTLR release. So stay tuned for that. We're hoping to either post it today or tomorrow. But yeah, we'll put it on our website whenever those become released. Upcoming content, we have a free virtual workshop at Kubernetes Days Bengaluru. It's Cloud Native Application Lifecycle Management with the KAP maintainers. And we do have KAP maintainers here today, which I'm super excited about. They are based in India, so this time isn't always so friendly with them. So if anyone from the KAP team wants to, Sumik, do you want to say anything, what to expect for this workshop?
Mm-hmm. Yep, sure. So we'll sort of be starting off with like a few common problems that people generally face while managing the life cycle of an application that is deployed on top of Kubernetes, and then sort of distributing them reliably. And we sort of initially want to focus on the motivation behind each of the individual tools, and then how kapp-controller sort of helps us to replicate dev workflows built using these tools reliably on a cluster, and then package and version and distribute different such workflows. So we'll sort of be building like a small demo app of sorts from scratch along with the participants. Yeah, that's what we'll be doing.
Great, thank you. That's super cool to see. And I was going to ask you about prerequisites, but looks like it's listed out here. So be sure to check that out and make sure you're prepared when you attend. Okay, on to just a reminder, we have community content sharing. So this means we have, what we're doing is we want to post weekly content, whether that's a blog post, video, demo, presentation, whatever medium that you're most comfortable with. We would like folks, not only just the maintainers, but members of the community to share things about Carvel, any ways that they're using the tools, if they're using it with other projects, other tools, how are they using it? We would love to know about that and love for you to share with the community. So please come to this page, sign up, put in what the topic is, what medium you're going to share. If you have a Twitter handle and want us to tag you in a tweet, whenever we promote that content, you can put it here. But essentially, we'll post it in all our channels. We'll, make sure we mention it in our community meetings, and we'll post it wherever we can to share that content. And for those that aren't Carvel maintainers, you will receive a Carvel t-shirt as a thank you. So please check that out. And if you have any questions, you know where to find us. On to some releases. We had vendor 0.26. Anything folks want to cover on this? Going once, twice? Guess it's pretty self-explanatory. Image package 0.27.
Hello. Here's our friend image package again. It's like releases every week. It's like Christmas every week. Look at that. New features, bug fixes, everything is awesome. So just to give you a little color here, last week we talked about the describe command that we added. Now we added the new flag that allows you to enable or not the retrieval of cosine artifacts. So we're talking about at this point signatures of cosine. So you can just provide this flag and tell image package if you want or not to see the cosine artifacts. The release was done right now because there was an issue with the copy of bundles to tars. And then the upload again, the import to the registries again. One of the images that image package controls that stores to serve as a cache was being incorrectly formed. So this was causing problems to people that were copying to tar and then uploading the tar, importing the tar to the repo, and then downloading the tar again to a tar. Downloading the repo again to a tar. It was not correct, the output. So this is what this fixed. So if you have this scenario where you copy the tar to a repo and then copy from the repo to the tar, please update to this version and then you shouldn't have any problem. So I think that was it for image package.
Great, thanks, Joao. Anybody have any questions on either of those releases? All right, on to what is coming very soon, kapp-controller 0.34. We can talk about it now, or we can just move into a demo. How about that?
Mhm. Yep.
All right, so Mike, I'll stop sharing my screen and let you take it from here.
Yeah, sure. Just give me a sec. So I'm just gonna get started by maybe adding a repo to the cluster. I'm gonna list the repositories. We have none right now. I'm gonna go ahead and add the TCE repo, I guess.
Well, so we specify a name for the repo. Well, it's added to the cluster and the URL of an image package bundle, which is pulled and then added to the cluster. Now that the repo has reconciled, we should be able to. Oh, okay. Yep. So we can see the packages that are a part of the TCE repo. And if we want to have a look at maybe one of these packages, let's have a look at Contour. I'm gonna do package install, not install, available. So it lists the versions that are available and the other details and metadata that's available with that particular package. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and install Assert Manager on the cluster. So to do that, I do kctrl package install. I'm gonna call it Assertman. The package name is that. So in case the user directly tries to install the package without specifying a version, we, instead of installing the latest floating version on the cluster, what we do is we list the versions and say that we are expecting the user to provide a version explicitly. That's what we are doing today. And so I'm gonna specify the oldest version. So we create a bunch of resources that the package install needs to create the respective apps here. We create a cluster role binding, a service account, and a cluster role. If we had specified like a values file, which would need a secret to be created, we would be creating that as well. And now we wait for the package install to reconcile. It has reconciled. So if we have a look at it, yep. So the installation we were trying to get up and running is now reconciled. So what I'm gonna do next is try and maybe update this installation with a values file. So let's first have a look at what values we can pass to Assert Manager. Available cat. And I would have a look at the value schema. Oh, I need to specify the version if I'm trying to look at the schema. So that's how we do it. It's package name / version. So the values file apparently accepts a namespace value. So just to make sure that it works, what I'm gonna do is I'm quickly gonna see the resources that are installed right now. So if I do update the package install with the values file, which specifies a particular namespace, what should happen is these namespace resources should move to the namespace that we are specifying. but once the package is finished reconciling, of course. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a namespace for that to happen. I'm going to call it sort space, and we're going to make a values file. Space, and it's sort space. Okay, so we're going to do kctrl package install update, and the package install that we're updating is called certman. So since the package and the version remains the same, we are only going to specify the values file right now. And the values file is values.yaml. So now kctrl will create a secret and update its reference in the package install itself, and then wait for it to reconcile. So I don't think I'll be doing that right now, but what we can also do is when we are dealing with package repos, we can also update them with a new URL, which leads to new packages being added, basically. If, for instance, we want to update to maybe a newer version of the repo, and the workflow is pretty similar to what we're doing over here. This might take some time because I believe what's going to happen is it's going to delete these resources, delete the namespace, and then recreate all these resources in the new namespace, if it works out. So we're going to let it do its thing. If that actually worked. Yep, so all the resources that we wanted to move to the new namespace have been moved to search space now. And yep, there is no sort manager namespace anymore. That's been created by the app CR, which is expected. So what happened is the package install picked up the new secret that we created while updating the package. So now what I'm gonna do real quick is try and update the package install to maybe a new version. And so instead of using package installed update, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do a package install with a newer version. So that way, what I'm trying to show here is that the package install command is it's reentrant. Like if you try to install an already installed package, it just switches to updating it. So I'm going to do package install. I'm going to call it certman, which it is. And okay, I'm just going to do this. Let's grab the version from here. Is that sort manager? Yep, sort manager. Okay, I'm going to update it to 1.4.4. Oh, the same typo again. Okay, I think since the package install already existed, it just switched to updating that package and then waits for it to reconcile. Okay, so since we are not going to see any change here, I'm just going to skip the reconciling part. We can always do a package install get to see if the reconciliation is done. Oh, it's still reconciling. So I think what I'm going to do is while it's reconciling, I'm going to go ahead and delete the package install. So to do that, we do kctrl package installed, delete, and we get rid of package install. It asks for confirmation, and we do want to get rid of it. So we wait for the packet install to be deleted in the same way we wait for it to reconcile. And what we will be doing is we also clean up the resources we created for the package install to work, like the secret, the service account, and the other related resources. There you go. So all the resources that were created with it are cleaned up. Yeah, so that's about it. I'm pretty sure I haven't gone over each command in the video, but feel free to so we can like take the binary for a spin. I'm probably gonna leave like, I don't know, like instructions how to build it and like take it for a spin maybe in the thread. So yep, that's it.
Okay, the repository is still reconciling, but so to add on to that, so for the future work that we have planned, right, we often find that, let's say if a package repository or if a package install is failing, users are sort of, the first instinct is to look at the package install resource and the package repository resource, and it does not surface enough information. So we sort of want to surface information that's exposed by the app CR that's created by these resources, and sort of help users debug it better and sort of demystify what actually goes on when a package install is created. Yeah, I guess that's about it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very obvious when we have that feature what we actually want to surface, or what the people want to actually or want to see, right? It's you can always compare it to like the stuff that you see in kapp deploy, right, is useful in understanding what the current state is, right? So like similar information popped up for package install and even app CR related interactions.
Any further questions or comments for the team regarding this? Okay. Thanks for doing that, Sumik. I'm glad that we had the backup.
Awesome.
Those live demos are always tricky. They work when you're not live, and go live, everything breaks. I'll share my screen again. Okay. So moving on to status updates, looking at the project roadmap. Anything to point out here since last week?
No updates to the roadmap. I guess Renu, or Sumik, since y'all are here, if there's any additional detail that y'all want to provide regarding the kapp-controller milestone or KCTRL milestone 3, y'all could do that now. But I also know I'm putting you on the spot, so feel free to decline.
Yeah, as soon as this one is out, we are waiting for the first milestone to go out. It's been ready for some time. Once that is done, most of the work for milestone 3, I feel, is almost done. What we are now trying to do is fine tune how we would want the output of the observability that we've been talking about, right? How that works out. So once that is in place, I think we'll be ready for that. So that is something for you all to look forward to. I think that will be interesting. And so these we are calling as the app commands. Right now, what we have worked on is called as the package commands. So the next set of commands are going to be what we call as the app commands.
Great, thank you for providing that. Any questions on those items before we move forward? Right. So this week's backlog, looks like we've got some YTT stuff in here. Who wants to go over these?
I put these in here. These are the things we're actively working on this week. There are others. These are just the ones that I want to call out. Very similar to last week, so I don't think there's a whole lot of detail to go into.
Okay. Anything else that the team is working on that they want to bring up from the backlog? Once, twice. Okay. Looks like we don't have any discussion topics. Was there something that anybody wants to talk about before we part ways?
You know, it's probably worth mentioning, especially I think Josh Rosso's is still here. You know, he's kind of a one-man army in the sense that he's been personally adding ARM support across the Carvel suite. It's not like an official roadmap item, but it does seem like it's coming soon.
Yeah, we've got a PR open in kapp-controller to add ARM support. That would be possible to do if you're using BuildX from Docker. I don't really know much about y'all's build processes, and I'm like altering scripts that are things that you use in the context beyond just image building. So we would love to see that in TCE because we have users who use our unmanaged clusters, especially on M1 Macs, which are effectively just ARM64 Linux boxes. And one of the key things to unblock that was to do a custom build of kapp-controller. So I opened up a PR that reflected that, but yeah, would be happy to do the work. Would probably just need guidance on what y'all would want to do from like a philosophical standpoint, because, you know, again, I don't know your build systems well. I don't know how you reason about some of these scripts. So I would definitely need some guidance. But maybe to Joe's point, just to be clear, I'd love to see ARM support on the roadmap or something that gets prioritized selfishly.
Yeah, and you know, we'll follow up. This probably doesn't need to be the whole community meeting, but I definitely will follow up with you, Josh, because it's you know, it's great to feel wanted, right? And so if there's it's good if there's a concrete use case for this ARM build, then you know, let's probably do it, right?
Yeah, my intuition for you all is that just users on everything from Minikube to Kind and stuff who are trying out kapp-controller, this will become more prevalent to them as they get one of those fancy new Macintosh computers. So
I'm assuming having a separate release YAML is wanted here, right? Not, or were you thinking more about like a multi-arch kapp-controller image?
yeah, so what I did is I updated your Docker file for building kapp-controller to support multi-arc builds through BuildX. So the complexity there was I had to update a bunch of things so that it could detect the arc it was building for and then download the appropriate like vendor binary, for example, for ARM versus AMD. So it does all that and it validates the SHA, but it makes things really ugly. I mean, the benefit, I don't know about the release YAML approach, Dimitri, but the benefit of BuildX is the output is a manifest list pointing at AMD and ARM, which is nice. So. Nice.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like the, you know, no objections to that approach. I think, well, maybe it's not an objection, but rather a trade-off. Anybody who would want to relocate the stuff into their private environments would have to be then grabbing the images for all architectures, because registry doesn't allow you to say, only grab partial set of things, I think.
Yeah, we use image package copy pretty religiously right now, and it does pull all of the architectures, which for us is exactly what we want, actually. I don't know if that's exactly what everybody would want, though,
Yep. Well, interesting.
Okay. Anything else on this topic?
No, that sounds like the kapp-controller team should sync up with Dimitri and get back to Josh soon. Is that probably seems like it's the right way to next step. Cool. And obviously, thanks, Josh. Really appreciate the contribution.
Yeah, and I will take no offense if we throw it away for a better approach. As long as y'all understand the need, then I am a happy camper, but happy to work on this if there's follow-up needed from me. So just let me know.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, so thanks everyone for joining today. I will post that demo separately so folks can check it out. If they want to provide any more feedback on that, please do so. You can find us on Slack and on Twitter if you have any comments regarding that. Otherwise, you can expect that release in the next few days, and we look forward to hearing from you regarding that. Otherwise, please join us in our next community meeting. We meet every Wednesday or every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. With that, have a great day. Thank you.